Finally, we are able to do a versus video. So let me just tell you, a while back, before I was able to stay at the Wynn or the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, I've always wanted to look up a video to show me the different places. Probably because they're very similar, because they're luxury locations.
Right, they're both 5-star.
Both 5-star, but totally different locations, different vibes,
yeah.
and such. So I'm gonna give it to you. We're about to give it to you.
Yeah, and I think it's different watching two reviews that don't touch on them versus something that
Versus.
Get it? Where they're like put head to head, you know?
Yeah. So here we go.
And just a little disclaimer at the beginning. These are our opinions. You know, all of this is totally subjective. So we're gonna let you know what we think.
Yeah. But before we get started,
I'm Scott.
and I'm Justin.
And guess what?
We living for love. All right, so this is how we're gonna do things. He's gonna give a point. I'm gonna give a point. There are 5 categories.
Yeah. And we'll just see who comes out on top. So let's start with the room. I mean, they're hotels, so it's important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you think about the Wynn's room? So we stayed at one of the hotel tower suites,
Parlor.
the parlor suite. What do you think of it?
So the Wynn Parlor Tower Suite, what I liked about it was the fact that I love the color scheme. I love how it's earth tone.
Right, very minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very minimal, earth tone, clean, bright though, very bright.
Very bright.
Even though it's earth tone, they made it creams and like light browns
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Huge bathroom.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous bathroom.
So I mean, that's what I really, really liked about it. One of my cons about the room was it did seem a little dated. So
Yeah.
it is due for a remodel or.
Yeah, I mean, they're weird, like, room control, like, tablet. Feels like a tablet from, like, 2006,
Yeah.
2005.
The couch.
They've got Alexa.
Yeah. They do have Alexa. That is an upgrade. And
Yeah.
of course, also, there's these, the curtains, the automatic curtains.
Yeah, that is really cool.
By touch. So a wall little thingy.
Yeah.
What are those things called? Touch
Panel.
Yeah, a panel to open your curtains. So anyway, it's that's what I do like about it, and maybe the cons too. But what about you?
Same, love it. Very comfortable, very, light colors, spacious. What about the Cosmo? For me, I mean, the biggest thing was the view, but we also paid extra for that. Really interesting, like chic decor, same, spatial difference. I don't remember the name of the one we were in. Do you?
Yeah, it's I believe it was the terrace, 1-bedroom terrace suite.
Yeah.
And yeah, chic, classy, chic, glam.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's, I mean, it's probably not what it's the actual, like, name for what the decor, but that's how we perceive it. And, but yeah, that's what I really liked about that one too. So from what I didn't really like about the Cosmo room is the level of comfort. So with Wynn, it's super cozy and it feels like I'm at home.
Yeah.
I wish my home looked like that, so don't get it twisted.
Right.
But it gives you that warm feeling. The Cosmo doesn't. It's not as comfortable and cozy.
Yeah, and everything was a little bit less comfortable. I mean, everything was great, but you weren't lounging on the couch in the same way. Like, Comfort, I think, is the most important thing in a room, and I have to give it to the Wynn. So my point is for the Wynn.
Okay, and my point would have to be for the Wynn too. For the Wynn. All right. So next, service. Now this is a big one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and start with the Wynn, how I feel about it. The Wynn, make sure that they go above and beyond. Now, I do know that there's a lot of issues where there's certain kind of people that come in, and then of course they look at you strange if you're wearing certain kind of attire. Like, I love my black tees, and I love my ball caps and more urban wear, and yeah,
maybe not the place for it.
Yeah, but you know what?
They were still
really, really nice about it. I mean, yeah, I do get different looks because I'm not, a blazer and whatever. But you look around, and you know what? There's traffic from all walks of life. Service still goes above and beyond.
Yeah, like they were ready to greet us right away. I mean, they were ready to help at every single turn. It was amazing service.
Yeah. Cosmo, on the other hand, hit and miss.
Yeah, it was either the best service or the worst service. And it kind of, we've stayed there a few times, and that's what we found every time. Is that either you get, the most friendly person ever, or somebody who kind of seems a little bit through, and they've had they've had a bad day and they're letting it show. So that one, I think, is a pretty obvious goes to Wynn.
Yes, I really do. Yeah, the Wynn won.
Again,
the Wynn wins again.
Another category we wanted to talk about is food and beverage options. So I guess we've been, starting off with the Wynn every time. How do you feel about the Wynn's food options and drink options?
So it's now that's difficult because we sometimes want, we call it junk, garbage food.
Garbage food.
Meaning a
mess of street tacos.
Yeah, or just a food court. A food court with cheap options, or it doesn't even have to be cheap. Quick, fast options. And that's not like a grab-and-go cafe type of coffee shop thing that the Wynn does have. I really hope that one day they do get one, but they don't have a food court.
So it's mostly either like grab a croissant to go, or sit down and you're having a major meal.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of in between.
Yeah, you're paying a lot of money for your meal.
Yeah,
and
you can go across the street to Fashion Show, and Fashion Show can give you all the options you want, but that's also walking away from the Wynn.
Yeah, or you can go to Tacos or El Gordo, but
a block away. Yeah,
but still, it would be nice to have something at the Wynn. But the food that we have had at the Wynn.
Oh, amazing. I mean, such good food. It's just the lack of options that's kind of the con here. Same with drinks. I mean, they have a ton of upscale bars, but it felt a little limited, I guess.
Yeah, it really did. So on the flip side, Cosmo, how do you feel about that?
Cosmo, like, the food options are ridiculous. They have their kind of bougie food court. I think they call it like a foodie court. I forget how they phrase
Block 16.
it. Block 16, the one.
Yeah.
But then if you want to go for something more upscale, they have on the third floor of the Boulevard Tower tons of options. A steakhouse, like I think a more formal Mexican restaurant, and then they also have a dressed down one.
The hidden pizza. The hidden, hidden something.
Yeah, secret pizza.
Secret pizza.
Secret pizza. There it is. Same with secret bars. They have 2 speakeasies. Like just everything that you could want right there. You don't have to leave the property, and you have options. They're pricey options.
Yes.
But if you just want some garbage, scarf it down, into the drunken night food, you have options.
You do. I mean, it's still not food court, Nathan's hot dog, Chinese, Panda Express knockoff.
Earl of Sandwich.
Earl of Sandwich. It's none of that, but it's still a food court where you could grab and go type of thing. But so overall, I think my food and drink would go to the Cosmo.
Yeah, same. Yep.
So here's a big one. Location.
Yeah.
So they are in total different areas on the strip.
Yeah.
They're both strip properties. And it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Well, all of this depends on you personally, but
Yeah, disclaimer, subjective, yada yada.
yeah. So the Wynn. What I like about the Wynn location is it is secluded. It does feel like you're in a different world. If you go outside at night in front of the Wynn and Encore, it's not crazy. It's not turn up hyphy where you're having to be dodging craziness.
You're also not alone, but it's not the same thing where you have somebody throwing up on the, front steps of the casino.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
It's
I do
the
like.
northern end of the strip.
What I don't like is you're going to be like, okay, so what is it? What I don't like is it is a little too quiet. So, I mean, I do want an in-between.
Right.
But the Cosmo, on that side of things, it is busy.
And about as central as you can get.
It's almost like right in the center. It's next to Bellagio, across the street from
Planet Hollywood.
So you have that action and that hustle
And the people throwing up on the front steps.
yeah. Maybe not at the Cosmo, but
Yeah, they did have their security things that they implemented.
Yeah, maybe the walkway that goes like to the Bellagio. There's
That's
like
the
that
one.
stretch. Yeah, whatever. I don't have any B-roll to show you right now, but there is a walkway that leads to the.
We do.
Never mind. I guess we do. Right here.
Yeah, and I feel ultimately the same about the location. Like, Cosmo can be a little bit too crazy at times, but you kind of want that. If you want to be able to walk outside and have huge crowds and feel like you're a part of the vibe, then you want that. And you're not going to get that at the Wynn.
Yeah.
You're going to have to walk at least to the Venetian, and even then that's kind of a different crowd. So you'd have to probably go to like Treasure Island to get the traditional everybody is acting too rowdy Vegas experience.
Treasure Island or no, Flamingo and like
Harrah's.
That stretch. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then watch our link in Flamingo videos.
Yes.
So where does your point go to the location?
So I've got to give it to the Cosmo.
The Cosmo, okay.
I think it's just more of that traditional Vegas experience. I don't think that you go to Vegas usually to be kind of cloistered.
Yeah.
To be away from the action.
He did basically take the words out of my mouth. Yes, I do love the Wynn location, but yeah, I'm going to Vegas for that Vegas feel, that ambiance. If I do want that Wynn secluded feel, I'm gonna choose maybe Red Rock or something. I don't know.
Right.
So or the M Resort.
You'd probably go off strip.
Off strip. That's a high end resort. So point goes to the Cosmo. Okay. So
to catch you up, right now they are tied. We've got 4 points for Cosmo, 4 points for the Wynn. And our last category is decor and vibe of the place, which we kind of combined.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that with Wynn first.
Yeah.
The vibe, we kind of got into it a little bit with location. But the vibe is more...
For the Wynn?
More resorty.
Yeah. Yeah. More resort,
Calm.
classic Vegas. Real classy. Like what I could picture maybe back in the day.
Probably not a whole lot of bachelor parties.
Yeah, no. Nobody throwing up on the steps.
Although maybe in the nightclub.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. They do have a excess. Yeah, somebody's throwing up in there.
Yeah. But other than that, like the overall vibe and overall feel of the place is a lot more subdued. On the decor side, well, Well, they have the world's most hideous carpets.
Yes.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Overall, it's like it is a generally beautiful location. Lots of light, lots of like floral and plant life incorporated in with the atriums.
And real authentic plant life.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Not fake.
Yep.
Yeah. And not dusty and
Yeah.
yeah.
But they lose major points just for the carpet.
That carpet, I'm telling you. And yes, somebody in the comments in our Wynn series has mentioned that that's what they love the most about the Wynn. So it's subjective.
Very subjective.
But come on. Say in the comments, can you support me? That carpet is hideous. Hideous. Okay, enough about the carpet.
Enough about the carpet. Speaking of carpets, at the Cosmo, oh my God.
Great segue.
I know. That was some skill right there.
Yeah, that was good.
Such good carpets.
Yes.
Beautiful. Like on point for their theming, which is kind of on the sexual side, and a lot of, key and lock metaphors going on. And they brought that into their carpeting even.
Yeah, they did.
But going more overall, how do you feel about the location not focused on carpets?
Yeah, so the vibe and decor on Cosmo, the vibe and decor is I like it. Sometimes it feels more like young money, young rich, as opposed to Wynn is old money, old rich, And I feel more comfortable in old money and old rich. Not saying that I'm old, but it's because it just has more of a like regal, I don't know. It's just a feeling of relaxation, while the other one is maybe a little more pretentious and fast-paced. And not that I'm not fast. Disclaimers, full of disclaimers.
Right?
Huh? Yeah, let me just tell you, I love the decor and the vibe at the Cosmo.
Right.
Yes.
It has its caveats, it has its things, but overall it's super chic, super modern. It's like so interesting. There's always something to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And darker color palette than Wynn, which kind of went for obnoxious red and then like cream.
Yeah. Lighter earth tones, which to me, I think it clashes. They went with a lot of colors that clash, and they don't really accent very well. They really hit it on the nose with the Cosmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my point goes to Cosmo.
My point goes to the Cosmo.
So we had 10 points total with our 5 categories, and ultimately 6 went to Cosmo, 4 went to the Wynn. But, and this is where it's all so subjective, it feels like the things that the Wynn won on were kind of more important, like comfort and service.
Yes.
And when Cosmo lost, they kind of lost big.
Yes.
So ultimately, like if we're staying somewhere, if we're choosing between the two, I think we lean more towards the Wynn. I'd rather stay there again.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, I mean, the points on paper or on video show that the winner would be Cosmo, but like you said, comfort, those rooms at the Wynn,
amazing.
Just amazing. You have to be there to experience it. And then the service. I mean, I'd give up probably like location, or I definitely give up location and maybe decor and vibe, just for the fact that the service is on point.
Is so amazing.
Yeah. So and like we did mention, we do want a classic Vegas feel, which means that not classic Vegas feel, but more of like a turn up. If you're going to do Vegas, you're there to party, right?
So if we're coming for that specifically, it's probably the Cosmo. But just in general, I think that our vibe is a little more Wynn.
Yeah, our vibe is definitely the Wynn.
But hey, whatever, you use this information however you want. If you're looking for that classic, stereotypical Vegas experience,
turn up,
the bachelor party, it's the Cosmo.
Go to Cosmo.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hands down.
You will not find that turn up vibe at the Wynn at all. So take advantage and go to the Cosmo. But the win wins.
The win wins.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us on our first verses, okay?
We will have more to come. What the fuck was that?
Art.